Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm Kelly Bhattacharjee from freebiefindingmom.com. Hi, thanks for joining me on Facebook. I'm Kelly from freebiefindingmom.com. So whether you're joining me from YouTube or Facebook, thank you for taking the time to watch a short video about budgeting. So I'm excited today to share with you kind of some of the budgeting questions that I keep getting asked. And the biggest one being, what is a budget and how do I set one up? So a little bit about me, if you're not familiar, if you don't follow Freebie Finding Mom, my background is in finance. In fact, my undergrad is in finance. I was an investment analyst for a number of years. And so money management and finances are sort of my thing, meaning I just love them. I have a real passion for money management and helping people understand their finances. So if you will, while you're watching, if you will, please leave a comment and let me know where you're viewing from. I would appreciate it. And without further ado, if you will also if you're watching from YouTube, click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're on Facebook, also, if you will like this video and follow my page, that would be great. And subscribe to my Facebook Lives. So like I said, I keep getting asked the same question about budgeting and how to set up a budget. And in fact, this past week, if you were on my Facebook page, you will see that Chrissy actually asked a question about how to set up a budget. And she wanted to know, she said they live paycheck to paycheck and just seemed like they weren't getting ahead and wanted to know how to set up a budget and if she really needed a budget. So what I will say about budgeting is I kind of feel like it gets kind of a negative rep. And it really shouldn't, because budgeting it should be kind of liberating, actually, because it should give you kind of a parameter of how you can live. So once you kind of know what you can spend for certain things, it should be kind of liberating more than restrictive. At least a good budget should. So what I'm going to do, since I keep getting asked about budgeting questions and money management questions, is I'm going to do a video this weekend for you. And I'm going to tape it about, like I say, just about kind of just a very simple budget. I have a number, if you're on Freebie Finding Mom, you'll see that I have a number of free printable budgeting worksheets, this being just one of them. If you can see, it's a super simple Excel document, okay? It does not have to be anything elaborate. And I will put a link to this in the comments or in the post on YouTube. You'll see the link. And it's a super simple budgeting worksheet. Basically, what a good budget should at least do for you is it should have your goals on there, it should track your income, and it should track your expenses. Now, anything additional is great, meaning if you're going to see how much additional you're going to contribute to your retirement, that's great to keep track of. If you're going to track how much additional you're going to be paying towards debt, that's also very helpful to keep track of. But regardless, a good budget should at the very least track your expenses and track your cash inflow. So if you have been one of these people struggling with, oh gosh, what is a budget? Do I need one? How do I even set one up? This video will help you. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to address some of the most common questions I get in which are basically, how do I set up a budget and do I need one? And what I will tell you about budgeting is there's no one budget that will work for everybody. And I think that's important to note because I think that budgeting can seem, I guess, intimidating for people. Like, to be totally honest, I'm a big nerd, okay? I love numbers. I like money management. I always have. But I get that most people aren't like that way, okay? For my husband, for instance, could care less about money management. Anytime I want to talk to him about the stock market, he pretty much tunes me out, like most things. But what I will say is don't let that intimidate you. Don't think, oh gosh, it's too complicated. Budgeting shouldn't be that way. If a budget is too complicated, it's not the right budget for you. There is a budget worksheet or process that is right for everybody. You just have to find the one that works for you. So if you ever go to Freebie Finding Mom, like I said, I have this. It's a free printable. I have different colors. I have different layouts. All you have to do is sign up. This one, actually, you don't even have to sign up for your email. You can just download it and print it off. And this, you should be able to start today. It's super simple. It doesn't require a lot of explanation, but I will do a video that just gives you more detail on it. But I have other ones too that have a little bit more details. But the one thing I will say that's key with picking out kind of a process for your budget is make sure it's something you can stick to. If you're a person that just is a pen and paper type of person, like, to be honest with you, I think it's bizarre, but my husband, what he does is he has this old school notebook and he will write down every single thing he spends. Okay, which I don't understand why at the very least he doesn't do an Excel where it will automatically update it for him. But it's fine. If that's what works for him, then fine. Oh, hi, Danielle. You have a grocery and household budget of 150 divided by 2 per meal planning is huge. You are so right. Meal planning is so important. you can save so much money. I feel like, and in fact, if a lot of you, I don't know if you've ever heard of a person, her name is Jordan Page from Fun Cheaper Free. This month, I think she's doing something called shelf cooking, where basically from my understanding is she basically is taking whatever you have in your pantry or on hand and using that to meal plan. And that is such a money savings. Like if you really use what we have, I mean, how many of us have stuff in our pantry that honestly we probably don't even remember we have, but if we use that for meal planning, it can be such a money saver. And going into a time of year when a lot of us will try to be vacationing and stuff, I think it's kind of good to kind of be cleaning out our pantry and, that sort of thing, and using some of the stuff that we don't always go to. So you're dead on with that, Danielle. Thank you for sharing that. Like it is definitely a money saver. And quite honestly, like it can be a time saver too, because you're not going shopping as much. I think with Jordan's methodology, it's like she says you can spend like $25 a week on just like fresh produce, which is so smart, and like milk and eggs and that kind of stuff. But pretty much all her cooking for, I think it's this month, is coming from her pantry. So if you haven't followed her, she's just so fun to watch. Like if you ever are on Fun Cheaper Free, her videos are just so entertaining. Like I highly recommend her. But anyway, so back to budgeting. Like I said, it's just simple things like meal planning, taking a little extra time at the beginning of your week or even month if you can get, that much ahead, but taking a little extra time to plan out what you guys are going to eat. And I just find it's less stressful too for the week. Then I'm not looking at the clock like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, like what am I making for dinner? What will Ian eat? What will my husband be in the mood for? Like taking that extra time can just be a stress relief too. So not only money savings, but definitely can be less stressful too. So what I want you guys to also do, thank you, like I said, Danielle, for sharing, but what I want you to also do is leave any money management questions you have in the comments. And what I will do is if I don't address them in this video, I will do in a future video, or at the very least, I will answer your questions. So if it can be anything, and don't feel intimidated. What I want everybody to know is this is a no judgment zone, okay? So if you're like, gosh, Kelly, like I'm in $30,000 of credit card debt and I'm just embarrassed by it. And I don't know, I don't really want to admit that, to everybody. You know what? I will never judge anybody. And I really hope the same is for everybody else watching, because everybody's situation is unique and nobody knows what everybody goes through. So if you just want to know, Kelly, how do I save on wholesale clubs? Or where can I find the best coupons? Or where do I get the best deals on diapers? Or maybe I want to know, how do I start a college fund for my kid? Or should I be saving for college? Or should I be saving for retirement? Or what is a mutual fund? These are all questions that I'd be happy to answer for you. What I will always say is I'm no longer a licensed rep, so all of my advice will just be opinion, okay? Like I'm not a registered rep anymore, so it's just informational purposes only. I just want to say that. And always consult a professional if you want to execute any trades or anything. But just feel like this is a platform for you to ask your money management questions. I want this to be an opportunity for you to ask somebody who, has a background in finance. And I don't know everything. My husband will be happy to tell you I don't know everything, but I don't even kind of know everything, but I will research it for you because this is my passion. I truly believe in life. Like I was given this platform to help people with their money. And a little background, like I said, I used to work in investments and I pretty much used to work with high net worth individuals, which is nice, but I always told my mom, I wish that I could have worked with people who I felt like it impacted their lives more. And that's what I feel like this platform does. So please leave your question. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining me. Please leave your questions. And like I say, there's no dumb questions about money or budgeting or money management, okay? Because not everybody went to school for it and not everybody has an interest in it. If you ask my husband, for instance, who I consider a fairly bright person, what a mutual fund is, he'd probably have no idea. Like he would know, I think we have some, but I don't know. Kelly does that stuff is probably what he would tell you. So no, and I'll tell you this story here really quick is one of my really good friends. She is incredibly smart. One of the smartest people by far I know, and just incredibly gifted. Okay. And she found herself in some credit card and some debt situations. And, having talked through that with her, it became very apparent to me that finances are not something we just inherently know. And many of us didn't learn it in school. And if we didn't have parents who educated us, a lot of us kind of just had to find out and figure out how to do budgeting on our own. For instance, an example is when I went to college, I went for my undergrad, like I said, in finance, and I put myself through school. So I know all too well about student loans and grants and scholarships and all that kind of fun stuff. But what I'll tell you is I didn't even know what a budget really was. Like I graduated, I didn't take any kind of finance courses in high school. And so I got to college and I was like, look, I am in school for 2 quarters and I am in working for 2 quarters. I was a co-op. So I thought I got to figure out what a budget does and how do I have enough money for the next 2 quarters. So even at 18, 19, I didn't even know I was setting up a budget, but that's exactly what I was doing because I knew that I didn't want to run out of money. And so I had to, honestly, I just developed something very simple to this spreadsheet, which is what amount of money did I have? What was coming in from my co-op job, which if you don't know what a co-op is, it's basically like a paid internship. How much money I had coming in, and was it going to be enough with that and my scholarships and my loans and my grants to pay for my school? So I just tell you that so you get that, like, I get it. I completely understand what it is like to be worried. Am I going to have enough to pay for books, bills, food? And how scary it can be. And so again, don't feel intimidated. Your questions are not bad questions. They are legitimate questions that you just have you need an answer for. And if you don't want to go to a professional for it, you don't want to have to pay someone for it, leave it in the comments, okay? I would be happy to answer them either, like I say, in a future video, or I would at the very least answer you in the comments. So you at least have some direction and some advice for your question. So like I said, be on the lookout, if you will, for this video. I'm going to tape a video hopefully this weekend that's going to chat about budgeting and how to set up a budget. And I did want to address really quick Chrissy's question that she posted on Facebook, on my Freebie Finding Mom Facebook page this past week. She wanted to know how to set up a budget. And so that's what and I've got this question so often that I felt like I need to do a video on this because, oh, there's my son. Ian, you want to say hi? You're on video. You want to say hi? Okay, just say hi. Okay. He's on his leap pad. All right, let me finish my video. All right. He's taking a picture of the video. All right, thanks, bud. Okay, so
I took a picture.
You took a picture of the video. Okay.
And did you see the one where I saw you down there?
Oh, you did? Okay, thanks, buddy. I'll be off in a few minutes. All right. So, but what I was saying is, I get this question enough that I felt like I need to do a video or something on this. How long do you think it would take for a credit score to improve? It depends on what you're doing. Let me research that more, but it can take a long time. It depends on how low your credit score is. It depends on what brought your credit score down. And I'm sure you've heard of things like don't cancel credit cards, just cut them up because that hurts your credit score. And those sort of things. Okay, can I finish the video?
Okay.
Thank you, sweetie. But let me research that for you because I've never actually researched that specific question. But what I can say is it, like I said, depends on how low it is and what you're doing to improve it. If you are doing things to improve it, like consistently paying your bills on time, that's obviously a great thing. They love to see a good credit score, good credit history, that you're consistently paying your bills. Don't cancel your credit cards. But it can take years. It can take a while if it's really low. Like I said, it kind of just depends on how badly it needs to come up. But you know what, Danielle, I will research that specific question because I've never actually looked that up. But I will look that up and I will respond back to your comment. Thank you for asking that though. But so back to Christy's question, Christy, and then I really appreciate you guys that were on my Facebook page that responded to Christy's question about how to set up a budget. And, Missy mentioned Dave Ramsey's awesome. Jim and Jen mentioned Dave Ramsey. I personally have never followed Dave Ramsey, but I know a lot of people that do. And that's awesome. If he works for you, you're welcome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I really will get back with you, I assure you. And he must have a great methodology because a lot of people follow him. But having said that, what I will say is find the process that works for you. Okay. So if Dave Ramsey works for you and you are able to adhere to his methodology and it's keeping you out of debt and keeping you on a budget, great. That's awesome. Do that. If all you need are some free printables like I have here, then go to Freebie Finding Mom, download all the free printables. You don't have to pay for any of them because budgeting shouldn't cost you anything. Now, if you want more detail, that's different. But the budgeting worksheets that I offer you are simple enough that anybody can be able to use them. And honestly, they're free. That's all you need. They're free. I don't really want you to have to pay for them, especially if you're trying to be on a budget. It's no fun to have to buy something, when you're already trying to watch your money. I never knew until I went through my divorce about how much canceling credit cards can damage. Yes, that is true, Kathy. How badly? Yes, canceling credit cards. I think I have a family member that learned that same lesson through the same process actually, and is a close family member, and she had a lot of credit card debt, and got some of them paid off, and then lumped them all into another credit card. And yeah, it can take years. And for her, it did take years to improve her credit score again, unfortunately. But she did, and she's still doing it. And it's doing the little things. Like I say, it's paying your bills on time. It's showing the creditors that you are responsible, at paying your bills in a timely fashion. And having that history is imperative. So it is unfortunate. And it's you don't really think about it either. Like all the implications, like down the road, think, oh, I'm just going to cancel my credit cards, and it's not that big a deal because I don't really use them. And I actually, years and years ago, when I first took out, I think it was a Macy's card, because we had one near where we lived, and I'm like, I don't even use it anymore. And I almost canceled it. And I was reading a little bit about it, and they're like, no, you should never really cancel it. Even if you don't use it, at least just cut it up and keep the account. And I think something, that's interesting. I remember in college, it seemed like always on campus that there were people that wanted all the kids to sign up for credit cards. I don't know if anybody ever saw that, like how like they would have workers all over campus asking kids to sign up for credit cards, and they would offer these awesome incentives. It's like 6 years. That's awesome that it's improving, but I'm not surprised, Kathy. Like, I think this person, it probably took her over. I know it's taken over 5 and she's still working on it. So, it's unfortunate because, like I said, that affects your car. That affects if you're trying to get a car, your house. So many things that we make purchases on, you don't even realize that something so simple like that you don't think can have that big of a, effect really does. But I'm happy to hear that it's improving for you. That's awesome. And that just means that you're being really diligent about your finances. And that's really what it takes. It's not exciting, but it's kind of true. That's what it takes. And then Veronica mentioned to Chrissy that you should just get a notebook, kind of like my husband's approach. But I'm sure Chrissy is more, or Veronica, I'm sure, is more diligent about it because my husband's process is a little bizarre. But she recommends just writing it down in a notebook and writing down what you owe, your monthly payment. And, that also works. If that is the approach that works for you and it allows you, if you will stay on it by doing that, then stick with it. If for me, I have an Excel document that I use to record our budget, but if you want to go old school and do notebook, that works too, whatever works for you. But I appreciate you guys for responding to Chrissy. And like I said, her question, I've seen it come across a number of times now. It just prompted me to get on here and to say, I'm going to do a budgeting video for you guys this weekend and let you know kind of just like how to get started. And, one thing I will say is budgeting, I think, is something we all should be doing, regardless of how much we have and, how much we don't have. Please let me finish my video, okay? Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, buddy. Sorry. But it's something we all should be doing. And regardless, like I say, of how much you have or don't have. And it shouldn't feel restrictive. If a budget feels incredibly restrictive, I understand certain times in our life it can feel, and it can affect your price on cars. Oh gosh, yeah. And I'm opening. That's awesome. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you're along for the ride, Kathy, because any questions you have, fire them away. Because like I said, with Danielle's question, I'll be happy to research that about the credit score. Because I love learning about this stuff too. I know most people don't. Like, I get all excited. Like, I'll tell my husband, like, oh my gosh, do you want to know what stock I bought today or about this company? And he's like, not so much, Kelly. I sort of don't even kind of care. But if you're open to learning, I think it's great. Like, this is a platform I sincerely want to help you with your finance and money questions. Like, it is definitely a passion I have. And that's why that was my background in school. It's something that I want to give you the tools to help you make smart money decisions. And whether that, like I say, is college savings, whether that is setting up a simple budget, whether that is figuring out your credit score, and if you can, like to your point, get the car you want. And like I said, it has so many impacts for years. And so if I can help you make a smart money decision today that will not impact you down the road, I will totally do it. So, like I said, please leave your questions down below. If you're watching this after I tape, I will come back and check this video. Leave your questions down below. What's wrong, sweetie?
Mommy, I really want to do this.
Give me 2 minutes. All right. He was using his late pad. All right. So, like I said, leave your questions down below, and I can't even see you over here. They think I'm probably talking to myself. All right. Love you. Okay. Let me finish this. I'll be done in a second. Okay. Okay. So, like I said, if you will leave your questions, I will be happy to answer them and give you see, I'm not talking to the floor. I really am talking to a little human. And we'll answer their money questions when we end. We want to help them with their finances, don't we?
Okay.
Yeah, we do. We want to, because we want everybody to feel financially free and to be able to do whatever we can to help them, right? Isn't that right? We want everybody to be happy. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate
Can I
it.
bring my Malibu ponies?
You can bring your ponies down. That's fine. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching.
No, don't.
Okay, sweetie. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I said, if you're watching after the fact, leave your comments, leave your questions. If you will, subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm going to be having more of these budgeting finance videos. And if credit score is something that seems to be of interest to you guys, I'll research it and do a video on credit score and improving it and what you guys can do to impact it and move it in the right direction. So that's awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining. And that's okay, buddy. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Take care. Bye-bye. It's okay, buddy. It's okay.